My name is Millicent Haynes, and I serve as Assistant Director of Communications, Community Engagement, and Events. So, African American Heritage Month to me means that it's a time to acknowledge, to be informed, and to celebrate the accomplishments of African Americans in the United States. In addition to that, African American Heritage Month is really an opportunity to recognize the founder, who is Dr. Carter G. Woodson. And so Dr. Woodson established what we know, what we formerly called as Black History Month in 1976. And so there's some African Americans who believe that, or give African American Heritage Month a bad rap because February happens to be the shortest day of the month. But Dr. Woodson actually chose February to celebrate the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. And so back to what it means to me to celebrate. During that time, it's a time for me to center myself and think about the accomplishments of African Americans. And so what I personally do, I like to read. And so each year during this time, I'll read one work of literature by an African American giant. Last year, I actually read Up From Here, which is Dr. Martin Luther King's last book. And so that's what I do during this time. Of African American heritage, I would say just be yourself. And embrace your history and all that you are to be. African American History Month, we have a large history. We have several triumphs. There are many tragedies in our stories, but overall, as a group of people, African Americans are definitely conquerors and overcomers. I feel like I'm breaking barriers in the workplace by being my true and authentic self. I am not the sum total of my exterior. And so when I show up to work every day, I bring my personality, my character, my intellect, my skills, and my abilities to do the work that I've been assigned to do here. And so as a result of that, I recognize that I not only represent myself, but I represent all African Americans. And so I know at work, when I am working with others, I might be that person's only experience with another African American in their sphere of influence. And so knowing that, I will always bring the best representation of myself to the table. And so that's how I try to represent during this time. Some of the things I love most about my heritage are the food, for sure. I love soul food, and so that's one of the things I really enjoy. I also love the music. Jazz, rhythm and blues, and from time to time a little hip hop. And so all of those genres of music have really spawned other genres of music in American culture. And so jazz really being instrumental in birthing rock and roll. Hip hop celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. And so hip hop has had a dramatic impact on American pop culture today. In addition to that, one of the things that I love about African American heritage is I love our history of our historically Black colleges and universities. I am a graduate of Hampton University, which is a historically Black college and university. And most of the historically Black colleges and universities were established around the 1830s and mainly began flourishing on the scenes after the Emancipation Proclamation. And so prior to the Emancipation Proclamation, it was unlawful to teach slaves and freed slaves and mulattoes how to read. And so this was the mission of the historically black college and university. And so Hampton University was founded in 1868 by Samuel Chapman Armstrong, and he was a Union soldier, and his mission was simply to set out to educate slaves and free blacks at the time. And so I really love the heritage and the mission of the HBCUs. And so one of our most illustrious alumni of Hampton University, which is located in Hampton, Virginia, in the Chesapeake Bay, is Booker T. Washington. And so Booker T. Washington was the African-American educator, and he went on, he was a slave who became free, who became educated, and then he went on to actually found another HBCU known as Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. So African American education, particularly HBCUs, are near and dear to my heart. Wow. So the family member I would speak to would be my great grandfather. So I am a native Texan. I'm a fifth generation Houstonian. And my great grandmother was born in 1903, and she lived to be 98 years old. And her elders walked from Virginia to Texas. And so I remember being a little girl and she talking about her father, and his name was Charles Wesley Tharp. Charles served as a Pullman porter, and his wife, Mary Abercrombie Tharp, they had two children. They had a set of twins. One of those twins was actually my great-grandmother. And their mother died in childbirth when my great-grandmother was 2 years old. And so my great-grandmother's father was left to raise two twin girls. And so as a result of that, he was doing so by himself. He made a good living as a Pullman porter. It was a respectable career as an African American back then. And so what I would tell Charles Wesley Tharp is that his generation, or his future generation, would be free, that they would be educated, that they would prosper, and that they would flourish, and not to worry.